Nyah. Though he's still scowling, he lets me wrap the bandages around his arm without any more protest. Since my left hand is still injured itself, the movements are clumsier than I'd like. Hao's eyebrow twitches every time my fingers slip, or when I accidentally prod him in the arm, but at least he has the decency not to complain. Once I've finished, he experimentally tries bending his wrist, then his elbow. Both motions cause him to grimace in pain. With a scowl of my own, I force his arm back down. Don't move it around like that. You need to keep that arm straight until it heals. I said stop moving. Jeez, you'd think a conductor like you would be more careful. You can't work at all if you lose your hand, you know. It feels strange for me to be scolding Hao instead of the other way around, so I'm not sure what kind of response I'll get. Maybe more scowls or Chinese retorts, or even lecture about my proper lecturing skills. A lecture about how to lecture properly, that's funny. The last thing I expect is for Hao to actually smile at me. Nyah. So of course that's exactly what happens. It's because he knows you care. This is caring. This is being worried and caring about the person. This is sweet. At any rate, this means the concert's off. You can't conduct when your arm's that messed up. Heck, I don't know if you can even hold up the baton. And our orchestra will sound like total crap without you. So, yeah. Guess we'll postpone the concert after all. After we find a new conductor and stuff. No. Hao motions emphatically with his uninjured hand, but I only shake my head. Switching from two to one-handed conducting is rare and requires a dramatic shift in technique. That's practically impossible to do on the fly, especially when your orchestra has no experience with it. Even more so if you've just been beaten up in a street fight. And if Hao tries to do the impossible, he's only going to overexert himself and make his condition even worse. No one-handed conducting. You just screw it up. We're postponing the concert. Hao opens his mouth to protest several times, but he ultimately swallows his stubborn words. Unborn words. As much as he'd rather believe otherwise, he knows I'm right, and that there's nothing he can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it either. Not when it was my fault Hao got hurt in the first place. You know how. You could have just gone to the concert like I told you to. You didn't have to come after me. It would have been better if you hadn't. Hao shakes his head. More words. I get the feeling that he doesn't want to translate that, so I don't press him. I just sigh in aggravation and give him a small shove. No, he's blushing. Jeez, why are you so bad at doing what you're told? What's this, the third time you've tried helping me after I said not to? He's blushing. Maybe it's the language thing, but you really don't understand what I'm saying sometimes, do you? And vice versa, I'm sure. But even if you don't always understand my words, I think you usually still understand me. So, thanks, Hao. 谢谢. 谢谢. I'm glad you were there. Nyah. Nyah. Hey, it's an advantage. 2 months. Still no good. Still failure. Nyah. Debussy. Seeing Hao's face fall again, I punch him in the shoulder. I make sure to get his uninjured side this time. Jeez, what are you moping for? These last 2 months weren't a failure at all. You think our orchestra could have come this far without you? Heck, if you hadn't showed up, we'd be a total migraine-inducing mess. And I'd still be slacking off, not giving a crap about anyone or anything else, least of all music. So don't tell me 2 months still no good. That's total crap. Because these were the best 2 months I've had in a really long time. And you, well, I guess you're the best friend I've had in a really long time too. Nishi wo zui hao de penyo. Or yeah, something like that, I guess. I duck my head, cheeks burning. Nyah. Man, I can't believe I just said that. Nyah. Ugh, maybe Hao didn't get it. Maybe I said it wrong. Yeah, I probably said it wrong. That's what I'll tell him anyway. When I finally look up, though, I completely forget to do that. Because Hao was looking straight at me. A small but genuine smile, tugging at his lips. Shisha Sanya. Sona. I punch him again before either of us get too happy about it. Yawn. So you definitely promised to write us letters? And send us postcards? Ooh, send me an erhu. What? I've always wanted to try playing one of those. Dummy, you can't ask for something like that. Overwhelmed by the flood of requests, Ha hesitates. Everyone's talking over each other. He glances pleadingly at me for translation help. I respond by shoving the chattering orchestra members aside. Okay, enough jibber-jabber. Hal's got a plane to catch, you know. We're really gonna miss you, Hal. Sniff. So many manly tears. Fucking manly tears. If you have time in the future, Mr. Howe, please come back and work with us again. Then we can have a concert the way we're supposed to have it, namely with you. We'll work hard and be much better when you come back. That's a when, okay? Not an if, but a when. Again, Hal looks over to me, more confused than ever. This time I just shrug. Between hearing the sincerity in everyone's voices and seeing their heartfelt expressions, I think he'll eventually get the picture. Seriously, guys, if Hal doesn't leave right now, he's gonna miss his flight. Group hug, everybody! One last group hug! Oh, heck no. Before I can escape, the entire ensemble swarms me and Hal, squeezing us tightly into the center of the group. I'm choking, half in protest, half for air. I try to shove away the people around me. They only hug me harder. Well, I guess a group hug just this once is okay. Once the hug finally ends, the percussionist approaches Hal with a raised fist. One last bro fist, man. This Hal somehow understands. He extends his hand with a knowing smile. You go, girl. Groaning, I drag him the rest of the way to the security gate. Hal winces once I finally let go. Oops, that was his injured arm, wasn't it? You take good care of your arm, okay? Be careful. Xiaoxin. No more conducting or throwing chairs with it or whatever until it's fully healed, understand? Hal chuckles, and I realize that I've just scolded him again. He smiles at being scolded at, because he knows it's her caring about him. Henhal. Mene rigoroso. Is he actually telling me to be more strict when I yell at him? Be more strict. That's funny. Opening his briefcase, Hal pulls out his trusty old conductor's baton. Then, leaning forward, he places it carefully in my hand. Sona. Conductor di nuovo. Giaio. Conductor di nuovo. It's strange, I know. For the past few years, I thought the only way I'd return to being a conductor was if I were dragged back kicking and screaming. There was no way I'd ever tolerate any more grueling lessons, frustrating practices, or disappointed murmurs from the professionals around me. No way on earth. I didn't realize all that had changed until I first thought about hiring a new conductor to replace Hal, when the first person I thought of was me, for whatever reason. Well, actually, I know the reason for that. It's because I remembered that I love music. Because I realized that I actually like orchestra. Because it gives my life a purpose, beyond just trying to fulfill or subvert the expectations of others. Because one day, I might even get to work with Hal again. Because it's something, more than anything, that I want to do myself. Grinning, I toss the conductor's baton into the air with a little whirl, then catch it neatly on the way back down. Don't bother wishing me luck, Hal. I don't need it. You're looking at the best new conductor ever right here. Soon our orchestra will be so famous you'll be begging us to come teach a thing or two in China. I'm not being cocky, I mean it. There's no freaking way I'll be any less than the best now. Not when I had Master Hao as my teacher. Nyah.